Now, I'm not going to go too in depth with this. Most people are aware of geoengineering and how it's been going on for many, many years. However, I just want to point out a story I was reading today. The debate is over amid wildfires. California governor calls for climate action. Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, he offered some of his most impassioned comments on climate change, denouncing the ideological bullshit, in quotations, of those who deny the danger, and vowing Friday to accelerate the state's already ambitious goals for reducing greenhouse gas. Ideological bullshit for those who deny it's happening. Yes, it is happening. Remember Al Gore did that wonderful presentation years ago in the theaters? Never saw it, but it was advertised heavily. Pushing. Deny that it's happening. We don't have to deny that it's happening. Let's just look at a few key points. The data is self-evident. The experience that we have in the state of California just underscoring the reality of the ravages of climate change. He said, Mother Nature is physics, biology, and chemistry. She bats last, and she bats 1,000. That's the reality we're facing, the smash mouth reality, this perfect storm. He even tweeted on here about the climate crisis, and what we're experiencing in California is coming to every community all across the United States. And you go a little further down here. But he said it won't change the minds of those who view global warming as fiction. This is not enough, he said. But don't worry, we're going to have this over and over with hurricanes, with flooding of subways in places in Florida and New Orleans in Texas. But don't worry, we're going to have it over and over. We don't have to deny that these things are happening. Yet, the public denies geoengineering is happening. Just a few small examples. Even though I know this has been going on for many years, here's a story. March 16th of last year, the controversial crazy plan to cool the planet by spraying chemicals into the sky. It's a lab at Harvard. As I said, most of you may know about this, but I'm sure there's lots of people that don't, because they still deny it. No, those planes don't spray in the sky. That's ridiculous. That's contrails. Well, how come the universities are being funded by the government to do this? Why do you have governors calling things ideological bullshit to deny it? Just an example here. Look at what it says. Their goal: to better understand what might happen if humanity eventually decides to embark on a radical, controversial plan, which is already happening, to temporarily cool the planet by spraying clouds of particles into the sky. It's very interesting. If it ever happens, the process might involve sending planes into the sky to release particles of a compound like sulfur dioxide that can reflect some sunlight back into space and could temporarily cool the planet. What goes up must come down. You want to spray sulfur dioxide particles? Do you wonder why the land catches on fire so easily, so quickly? Why is everything so dry? Newsom said you can't deny that this is happening. Yet these universities apparently have already had the plan on the table. And many of us look into the sky and know the difference between these contrails, regular clouds, and special planes. And if you don't, you're just lying to yourself, because it's very, very apparent. They just give you an example here. The concept of spraying chemicals into the sky to cool the earth is not new. It's the same process that happens naturally when volcanoes erupt. In 91, apparently this Mount Pinatubo erupted and spewed millions of tons of sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere, and it cooled the planet by 0.5 degree Celsius. I find that entertaining because they like to tell us how things like asteroids and things cause these instances, like the death of the dinosaurs and whatnot. Yet they tell us it's good. Sulfur dioxide is good. There's also lots of genetic defects which happen with aluminum and things, and that is also something they spray in the sky. Once it hits the soil or gets into the water, there is genetic mutations as a result of aluminum suppression within the DNA structure, but I won't get into all that. You can even go to Harvard's page themselves. They tell you all about it. Their solar geoengineering research programs. Set of emergent technologies that could manipulate the environment and partially offset some of the impacts. Sorry, I forgot to read the line back in this Harvard story. Geoengineering research program. But we also think there's the chance for very real risks. They're telling you there's a risk. They realize doing this and messing with the planet could come with consequences. That ideological bullshit. Don't deny it, because the government's doing it to you, to the planet. Personally, I don't think any weather has been real for many, many years. Clouds have not been real for many, many years. When I was a child, I used to see all sorts of things in the clouds. What do I see now? Lines. Looks like a dead farmer's field some days. And when the sun's at its full white, hot capacity, then the planes come in, releasing their wisps of air to cool us down. It does cool the air down, it really does. You do notice a difference once those spray planes come out and they block some of that UV. But as I said, and as we all know, what goes up must come down. And just for those who still don't understand, Oxford Geoengineering in the UK, they'll tell you, geoengineering is a deliberate, large-scale intervention in the Earth's natural system to counteract climate change. Talk about solar radiation management, greenhouse gas removal or carbon geoengineering, afforestation, biochar, bioenergy with carbon capture, ambient air capture, ocean fertilization, enhanced weathering, ocean alkalinity enhancement. Like, just that, for example, like grinding up, dispersing, and dissolving rocks such as limestone, silicates, or calcium hydroxide in the ocean to increase its ability to store carbon. Like, they're just refashioning the whole Earth. Really? Science. Science. You trust these people? They poison your food. They poison your air. They poison your water, and people deny it. Go to these university sites. They certainly don't deny it. Nobody wants to dig. But that's not it. Nobody really wants to take a good look around and see what's happening because they think, hey, what could I do about it anyway? I know many of these people in my life. What can I do about it anyway? And they just look away. They'll give you your phone. They'll give you your TV. They'll give you all sorts of shiny things to play with. Just keep letting them genetically manipulate the world you live in, genetically manipulate you with foods, medicines, literal DNA resequencing. We're living in a Franken planet. It feels like it died a long time ago, and they're just trying to pump some new kind of abominable life into it. The real problem is in the minds of everyone that lives here. People literally have to wake up. This place is being run into the ground. The ideological bullshit is denying the entire picture. We've all been duped, bamboozled, deceived for many, many, many years. And this isn't my opinion. This is fact. Look around. Anywhere. Everywhere. God bless.